Hi guys, it's me Happy Cat and welcome back to my channel and welcome to my review of Silent Hill F. I have just finished the main game on my stream literally just now and I want to talk about it while it's still fresh in my head. And this is little Freya. I wanted to show her off because some members, some people of my subscribers have been wanting to see her. So this is her, this is baby Freya. She's only 9 weeks old, so she's still a little baby. She's so cute and sleepy. Hopefully she'll be nice and calm during this thing. And yes, I have called her Freya after God of War's Freya. But we are here to talk about Silent Hill F today. Now, I'm going into Silent Hill F with a bit of a, not a bias thing, but like a bit of an issue. Because I played Chronos before I played Silent Hill F, I went straight from Chronos and then straight into this one. And obviously Chronos was made by the Blooper team who did Silent Hill 2. Now, Chronos was an amazing game. It was pure survival horror. There were scary elements. The gameplay was good. Like, everything about Chronos was amazing. So then I went straight to Silent Hill F, and I felt like it felt a bit flat to me. I think it's going to be a bit of a love it or hate it kind of game. I've seen some little snippets of other people's reviews, how some people were saying it's good, some people saying it's bad, some people saying it's the best Silent Hill, some people are saying it's the worst Silent Hill. So it's a mixed bag, and I actually do have mixed feelings. So let's talk about the pros before the cons, because I think my cons are going to outweigh the pros. So let's start with the pros. Let's be positive. I would say pros are the story. I really like the story. I think the story of Hinako and her turmoil she has to go through, the idea of marriage and the whole thing about that. Learning about the 1960s Japan was really good as well. I enjoyed that. I felt like that was a really good aspect, especially to open up to the Western world for us to learn about it. I felt like that was a really good shout. There were some freaky elements, the scary elements. The main one being the school. The school was like the scariest place. There was moments where the school freaked me out, especially going up the corridors when you saw like the scarecrows on the ceiling and you weren't sure when they're going to jump on you. That whole school section was terrifying. I really enjoyed that bit. Trying to stay positive. The whole ceremony thing with Hinako was quite terrifying. I'm trying to keep it like light spoilers, but not like massive spoilers for people, because some people probably will know about the game by now, and I do want to talk about it. So prepared for light spoilers. I will talk about some general spoilers, but without going into too much detail in case you haven't played like all the endings yet or anything. Yeah, so like there were some good aspects with that. I quite liked I loved the aesthetics. This game was beautiful to play, and it was so, I loved the whole design with the flowers, and like look at the screen right now. It looks amazing, kind of twisted and veiny with the flowers as well. It's such a cool design. There was a really nice moment near the end of the game when you walk up the hill and you start seeing the green like grass coming through and you just see the sun. So pretty. This game is aesthetically pleasing to the eye, and I appreciate that so much. The characters were good, the interactions were good, the voice acting was kind of good in places. So I don't know what happened. Sometimes the voice acting went a bit off track, but then it came back on really well. It was very dark in the story, which I liked. I said the whole altar scenes and the rituals were just slightly traumatizing. I think I'll be traumatized by that for a little while yet. The rituals were kind of freaky. But yeah, I enjoyed it. So all in all, like story and everything, I enjoyed it and I quite like it. Is it a Silent Hill game? That's the question. That's the question everyone's having. It doesn't feel like a Silent Hill game for me, and I'll tell you for why. I feel like the traditional Silent Hill tropes, like you hear the sirens and then it changes to the other world, and the other world's all rotten and gross, where this feels like a bit the opposite. You don't hear the sirens for starters, and sometimes I was like, are we in the other world? Are we in this world? It got a bit confusing sometimes what world I was in, and then when I figured out we're in the other world, but like because the sirens don't come, you don't get that impending doom that's coming. I feel like in the Silent Hill 2 game, like the remake especially, when you hear the sirens, you're like, oh no. Like the sirens scare the hell out of you because you're like, oh no, we're about to go into the other world. I don't want to go there. You get like a sense of foreboding and a sense of dread that you just don't get in this game. You don't get the sense of dread that you're going into the other world, especially when the monsters are very similar on both. And again, I know that happens in Silent Hill too, but it comes to a point where both worlds don't feel as scary as the other. And then obviously when you get more powers near the end of the game, or the second half of the game, the other world doesn't feel scary at all. In fact, you look forward to going back to the other world because you're not scared of it anymore, because you're just like overly powerful. And that was the other thing as well, when it switched to that and we started playing as Hinako as her transformation happened. It does not feel like a Silent Hill game at that point. At that point, I'm like, what am I playing? This feels like some kind of fantasy game, or it doesn't feel like Silent Hill. It feels a bit too out there. Yeah, and just like little tweaks of like the horror aspects. So like the scarecrows, for example, you know when they're coming. It's very rare when one actually made me jump. It happened like a couple of times. In Silent Hill 2, those mannequins made me jump all the time. And it's because the mannequins would hide and they'd be quiet and then they'd jump at you out of nowhere and you freak the hell out. Where in the this game, even if a scarecrow is hiding around the corner, you can hear it. Even if it's still, it still has these little sound effects of creaking and stuff. So they're not truly silent when they're hiding. So even when, I think it even happened on one part of the stream where I was going down like a road like this and the mannequin jumped, I keep calling him a mannequin, the scarecrow jumped out at me. And someone in my stream was like, oh, I'm surprised you didn't jump on that. I was like, why? I could hear it coming. I would have jumped if I didn't hear it coming, but I could hear it around the corner. So just like little things like that could have like, you know, made it scarier. Yeah, so that's like some of my critiques. I think like it just wasn't like as scary as I was hoping it was going to be. The whole school section was the scariest thing for me. The school section was quite scary. And the freakiest part of the game was, yeah, 100% was the school. But yeah, I felt like it just didn't really develop into anything more. It kind of just stayed the same. The story developed, which is great, but I felt like the enemies and stuff like that didn't really develop much more than that. It's going to be a hard one because people are going to love this game and people are going to hate this game. There will be colliding opinions here. I'm fully aware of that. I'm just going from my own personal experience and me coming straight from playing Chronos straight into playing this. Another little aspect to compare the two games. Chronos was like a Polish game. And when you went across the world, if there was like posters or writing on the wall and stuff like that, and you aimed your weapon at it, it would translate it to English in real time, which was amazing. So you didn't feel lost of what the world building and you getting lost in the world. And then coming into here and realizing that they don't do that here. I was like, oh my god, why didn't they do that? And obviously because it's their own thing, so they didn't think about doing that. But I was like, oh, considering the blooper team made that game, I'm always like, it's almost a shame they didn't like you know, transfer that idea into this game. Yeah, so like when you're in the school and there's like things on the chalkboard and there's things written on the students' desks and you can see like notes written and in the locker room, for example, and you can't read anything because obviously it's all in Japanese, which is fine, but I wish there was like a translation thing where you can then see what it says in English. I felt like that would have helped with the world building and just getting to learn a bit more about the other students there and like the other like what was going on, even like what they were learning about on the chalkboard, that sort of thing. It just helps breathe life into the world. And it's like Chronos had that thinking to do that. Like the blooper team thought about that when they made Chronos, and it's just a shame that the team who did this game didn't think about that. The only translations you get is obviously when you read the notes, like when you pick it up as an item, but it doesn't tell you translations when you go. So there was a couple of points where this actually affected me. So I got lost in the school because I didn't realize there was a second locker room. I found the first locker room, then I found a note for the code to open one of the locker doors, And I couldn't for the life of me find the locker. I was walking around the locker room like I'm in the locker room. I don't know where else it could be. I didn't realize there was a second locker room, and I saw that there was a sign above it. And I said to my chat, I was like, I bet you that sign says like male locker room or like female locker room or something. But because it didn't have a translation, I didn't know that that room was a locker room. And it was locked previously, so that door was locked previously, and I didn't know it was like open again, you know, like, so little things like that. And I got a bit lost because it wasn't obvious where I was meant to be going, and just a little translation would have been really helpful. Yeah, that would have been really cool if they did that. I feel like I wouldn't have been so lost trying to find the second locker room. Other little things, I think again might be a translation issue maybe, but another thing I noticed was with the puzzles, because I played the puzzles on hard, but some of the puzzles didn't make sense. And I don't know whether it's because it's written in a way like they wrote it like a riddle, but I feel like the riddle wasn't like translated very well, or maybe it just wasn't like hitting on like how like the Western side would say it almost. There was a couple, like, I'll give an example. On near the end of the game, there's like a big artwork, and you find the coins to put in the artwork. And you have to put the coins in a story sync. So one of the things was like the black bird wants the white bird, but the white bird's trying to get away. That's like the puzzle. That's the clue. So I'm paraphrasing here, but so I'm looking at the picture, and there's like these two images, and I'm thinking, and also it makes a difference which way around the puzzles are facing, like the coins are facing. And we know that as a fact because in previous puzzles, it made a difference which way around the images were facing. So I was taking what I learned from a puzzle before and applying it to here. So I thought, well, the blackbird has to go above the white bird because obviously it's like a show of dominance, I guess. And also the blackbird is facing the white bird on the coin. But that wasn't correct. It was the other way around. And I was like, and they're facing away from each other. It just didn't make sense. I was like, well, that doesn't make sense. So I'm not sure why, like, I don't know whether it's just a translation issue or just the way we look at puzzles, like in that context is different to, I don't know, something just felt a bit off with the puzzles. Some were good, some made sense, and some didn't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think another one was like the puzzle box with the story. Oh, I know. There's another one. Here's another prime example. In the other world, when you have to like flip around, like the wooden. Well, we found out that they're like emas, aren't they? Like the upgrade things. You flip them around, so it tells you, you know, when you find one with a cat or something, or you find one with, you know, it tells you to find different ones. Like, oh, when the lightning is doing this, you find the lightning one. So that's fine. But then there was one saying you need to find this deity or like this not deity or like a god or something, and I'm like, I don't know what this god looks like. I was looking all around, I was like looking at all the planks that it could be. I was like, maybe it's this thing. It kind of looks like a god or like a deity or like a demon thing. I didn't even know what it was. It was like a, but I was like, I don't know what that is. And then it turned out to be like some kind of cloud. No, it turned out to be some kind of flower. I was like, oh, I didn't even know it was a flower. I wouldn't even know I was looking for a flower. I thought I was looking for like a god thing, like some kind of animal or human shape or something. So just little things like that. The puzzles felt a bit off. And I think it might have just been like a translation issue or just like it wasn't sort of adapted for like Western minds or like, you know, things that we would know. Which is fair. That's fair. It's a Japanese game. It's a wholly Japanese story. They want it to be enriched in the Japanese culture, and I appreciate that. But it would be cool just to like let us know what we're meant to be looking for. You know, just like add it in as a type of flower or just something so we know what we're looking for. You know, just something like that. That would have been kind of cool. So just little tweaks like that. The other issue I have is the combat, and I think that's going to be a big problem for a lot of people. I think the combat is a big problem, and it's not that I hate the melee thing. It's kind of okay. The stamina gauge. The stamina gauge is the most annoying thing in the game. It's the thing that really frustrated me, especially near the end of the game. And also with the stamina, you are like, you're running around the whole game without losing stamina. You go into combat and then you lose stamina. And it doesn't make sense, and it's so frustrating. And without running, you are just walking. So it doesn't make sense. What they should have done, like every game does, is put a sprint button in. Put a sprint button in the game. The sprinting uses stamina. You might have to sprint to get away from enemies, but it uses stamina. That's what they should have done. They should have just put a sprint button in the stamina, instead of just having the normal run button be part of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like they could have made that better. And again, I get why they did it, right? They probably did it because they want you to feel like panic, like, oh my god, it's so scary, we can't run away because the stamina. But it didn't. It just frustrated me by the end. I just started yelling at Hinako, like, come on Hinako, move faster, like, oh my god. And even when you upgrade it, and this is another comparison now with Chronos to Silent Hill F. Again, I can't help it. I'm going to compare the two because I came from one to the other. So they were both fresh in my head, and this is like a direct comparison, and it's things that they could have done a bit better. So with Chronos, I forgot what I was going to say now. Something about the stamina. Oh no, I've lost my train of thought. It'll come back to me. I'll move on to the next bit. It'll come back to me about the combat bit. It's gone. Yeah, so I feel like they could have done the stamina thing a bit better. Yeah, I'll let it pass. I don't want to edit this video, so I'm gonna do it live as I go, and then I'll if I remember, I'll come back to it. I don't think it was anything that important. Yeah, and the other thing that was a bit faffy was the menus, like so you're told earlier in the game that you have to pray to save the game. But then you go onto the pray thing, and then, but the pray tab takes you somewhere else. It doesn't save the game. The pray tab doesn't save the game. The record tab saves the game. But just little things like that. So the amount of times I went into the pray, went to the pray thing and then pressed pray to save, and it wasn't pray to save. Just that annoyed me a little bit. Just like these little things just irritated me. They're very, very minor things. They're very minor things that irritated me. But I feel like if all these little things were just tweaked and fixed, it would have been a lot better. I'm still trying to remember what that Chronos thing is now. It's going to bug me. I don't remember what I was talking about before that happened. I just had a complete brain fart. Oh my gosh, it's going to really bug me. What was I talking about the I can't remember. I can't remember. If I remember while I'm doing it, I'll write it in the description. I'll write it in the comments if I remember that point I was going to make. Yeah, so, you know, it's just little things that the menu's a bit faffy, having to equip different weapons on your person. You might have 3 empty slots, but you can't pick anything up because your items are full. That was a bit annoying. It was a little bit faffy to manage. It wasn't easy to go onto your items, take things out. You'd have to like scroll down to the blank space and then swap them out. Do you know what I mean? It was faffy. The menus are faffy. I found that to be a little bit faffy. And that took it out for me a little bit. It just got a little bit frustrating by the end, basically. And the more enemies there were, the more these problems were obvious. I also found the boss fights to be a little bit boring. Not in a really harsh way. Some of them were fun. I think the most fun boss fight was... I don't even remember on top of my head. That's bad, isn't it? That's bad. But I feel like, you know, the last boss was pretty easy. I think the hardest boss for me was the lady, I can't remember her name, her like friend that was on the bridge with like the missing face, or like her face was like split open. She was probably the hardest boss to fight, just because like it just took a minute to work out what to do. You just had to like dodge then hit, then dodge then hit. Yeah, but I think all the bosses were the same. It was just like a dodge and hit situation. Like, yeah, and that's the problem with having melee combat, because you've got the same combat through the whole game. So the attack pattern's not really going to change that much. So yeah, I just feel like I'm glad the game isn't longer. Just put it like that. I feel like the game's length is dead on right for it. And it does kind of suck that you can't experience the full game without playing it 5 times. I did go and watch all the endings at the end of my stream. If you guys want to see what happened, so I got freaking cat hair up my nose, so I can feed it. It's itching me. I breathed in some hair. When I finished the live stream earlier, I then watched with you guys. I watched the other endings to get the full picture. It's my busy season coming up. I don't have time to play the game 5 times and see what happens. And I was quite disappointed with the first ending. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't satisfying end. And I get it, they kind of want to leave it on a bit of a cliffhanger, so you play it again. I felt like the second ending was way more conclusive, and it felt tighter. But it just kind of sucks for people that they didn't get that experience on the first one, because you're going to get a lot of people, maybe half the players aren't going to play it again. They'll play it once. I know my friend is also the type, he'll play it once and not play it again. He might play it again, don't know. It depends. The thing is, you have to solidly like the game in order to want to play it 5 times. And the game has to be really good for you to want to play it 5 times. And I'm sort of thinking now, like, oh, I could go and play the game, but I'm like, oh, that means I got to do that section I don't like. I have to do that section I don't like. With not much really changing, you know, even if you do like a new game plus, you might get to keep some stuff you have, but what stuff do you have really? Oh, I remember what I was going to say about Chronos. I remember because I was just talking about this. It led on nicely to this. So in Chronos, right, it's a hard survival horror game. Chronos is hard. It's a true survival horror. If you run out of ammo during a boss fight, the game doesn't give you any more ammo. You are screwed. You have to dig yourself out of a hole. So it's true survival horror for that aspect, right? So because of that, don't tell me I forgot again. It's my freaking ADHD brain, I swear. My ADHD brain just jumps around. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. I wish my brain wasn't like this. No, go back. I remember it. Yeah, upgrades. Right. Okay, thank you. Upgrades. So I was gonna say, when you upgrade in Chronos, you notice a difference. So the upgrades in Chronos kind of cost a lot. You know, you have to find cores. It's a lot to level up in Chronos. But when you do level up, you feel it. Like, you're like, oh, I guess I can upgrade my suit protection, like my armor or my health. And you're like, yeah, is it worth the things to do it? But when you do it, you notice a massive difference, and you're like, oh my god, it was so worth it. I feel so much more powerful now. Like, my armor's so much better. Like, it's taken an enemy an extra 5 hits to get me what I was before. So like the upgrades felt powerful. But in this game, I upgraded my stamina like 3 times and I barely noticed any difference. I literally noticed like no difference in my stamina and my health. Like, and I desperately needed stamina. And every upgrade, I was like, I haven't noticed any difference. And that really annoyed me, because the talisman things you need to find are like, they're few and far between. They're hard to find. And I looked at every nook and cranny. You can watch my gameplay. I looked at every nook and cranny trying to find them. And I still struggled finding many. Yeah, and like the upgrades just doesn't feel worth it. And by the end of the game, I had so much faith stored up that I could have bought loads, and I just didn't, you know, have them. And then even if I did have them on upgrade, it didn't feel like I upgraded anything. Like the upgrades felt so insignificant. And that kind of sucked, especially coming from Chronos, where like the upgrades made a big difference. Yeah, so I think the problem is I came into this game after playing Chronos, and that has changed my perception on the experience, because I saw things that the Blooper team did so much better. And don't forget, the Blooper team did Silent Hill 2, and I already know there's so many things that Silent Hill 2 did so much better than this. Like the things about the mannequins being quiet and you can't hear them, and then they jump at you. But in this game, you can hear them, so there's no jump scares. Literally, there was a time when I was walking down, mannequin jump scare me. My chat was like, oh, I'm surprised you didn't jump. I'm like, well, I heard it coming. If I heard it coming, I'm not going to jump. So, you know, there's some issues. But I appreciate this game, and I appreciate their bold move to do something different. I appreciate the story. I appreciate them showing us a bit more about the world. I do wonder if, obviously, the Japanese audience are probably going to love this game even more because it's part of their history, of their heritage thing. They're, you know, touching on subjects that they grew up with. I think it's going to touch a lot more lives in Japan. And I'm glad that Konami, obviously being a Japanese studio, has done a game for Japan. Like, I appreciate it for that. I think it's really important that they have a game for them, if that makes sense. But I do feel like some of it was a bit lost on the Western world about knowing about the deities. Like I said, being stuck on puzzles because you didn't know what certain things were. You know, and not being able to read the world, you know, something I wish that they'd put in there. I feel like if you haven't played Chronos yet, go and play Chronos, right? Go and play Chronos and you'll see comparisons that I think you'll be like, oh, they could have done that in Silent Hill F. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm trying to judge it as its own thing, but it's so hard to do after playing Chronos and then coming straight into this. Yeah. It's it was alright. It was an alright game. I may sound like I'm being really harsh on it. I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack for this, but it's just my feelings and my experience. And I was actually kind of saying in chat as well. I was saying in my stream, like, I think we just need to not hate reviewers. Like, everyone has their own thing. You might love the game, and that's freaking brilliant. I'm so happy that you loved it. I'm so happy for you that you loved it. And we should wear that happiness with pride. Just because someone else isn't a big fan of something doesn't knock off your happiness. You know, I wish I could be like that. I wish I could be happy. You know, and on the same reflection of that, just because someone hates the game, not hates, I don't hate it, but I'm on about other reviewers. Even if other people say they hate the game, then, you know, it's their truth, you know, it's their experience based on other things that they've played in the past and other stories they've experienced in the past, and what their expectations are going into a game. You know, you got to think of that as a big picture. But for me, I've played a lot of horror games. You know, Dead Space being one of my favorite games. I want to play the remake. I haven't played the remake yet. You know, the Resident Evils, the Silent Hills, all those sort of things combined. Where does Silent Hill F fit among the horror games? I think I gave Silent Hill 2 like a 9 out of 10. I haven't done my Chronos review yet, but I'm going to, because I need to do it. I've been away for a week, so I need to do the Chronos review. I would probably give Chronos around a 9, to be honest. Where would I give this one? It's hard because there's some things I really enjoyed about the game, but the slight clunkiness in the menu and the controls and the way it's played just took me out of it a little bit. It didn't feel like a Silent Hill game, you know. So maybe as a Silent Hill game, I would probably score it a bit lower. But as a horror game, or like as its own game and its own stories and themes, I think I would rate it higher. Do you know what I mean? So that's where this is my dilemma right now. I don't know where to score it, because as a Silent Hill game, I'm not sure. But as its own standalone game, it's definitely up, like a bit more up there. So I'm going to be nice. I'm going to give it like a 7 out of 10. I think 7 out of 10 is fair. I think it's lost a couple of points with those like snaggly bits. It's above average for me. So I still enjoyed it. I still above average. I enjoyed it a lot. This is a problem. So like, I think if it takes 5 playthroughs to learn the whole story, is it a kind of game I want to jump in and play the story straight away? No, it's not. I like the game. I probably would have played it the second time to get the second ending, but I probably wouldn't have played it 5 times. I probably would have played it twice. I think that's where I'm sitting with it. And then, you know, but with Silent Hill 2, as soon as I finished Silent Hill 2, I want to go, I turned it on straight away and started playing it again. Do you know what I mean? And there were some cool moments in this game. There really was. Like, one of my favorite bits of the game is two bits that were my favorites. That was the school section with all the scarecrows. They were kind of like in the ceiling, and you didn't know if they're going to jump on you. And that really cool, like aesthetically pleasing bit where that scarecrow is in the middle of the hallway, and it's like the red glow. It looks so cool. Like, I can't get over how good this game looks. Like, the game looks freaking cool. I loved it. I loved it for that. And then the scarecrow bit when you're, I think it's on like a rice field or rice paddy or something, and then they start working like the weeping angels from Doctor Who. When you're not looking at them, they come closer to you, and when you look, they stop. That's freaky as hell. That bit was so cool. That bit was tense. I was actually getting freaked out. You didn't know what scarecrows were going to wake up, and just the fact you can hear them coming closer to you. It was just like the weeping angels in Doctor Who, and that was so cool. I loved that. But that was only used like once in the game. It wasn't used again after that. Yeah, so there's some ideas and elements that was so cool, but it just like got frustrating in parts with the combat and stuff. I think they could have done it a smidge better. I think they could have tightened it up, corrected some things. Doesn't make sense when you can sprint one way and you can't sprint in combat. It's just like, like not even sprint, just run, just like a gentle jog. She doesn't exactly run fast anyway. You know, they should have added a sprint button. Also, the whole thing about having an easy difficulty and hard difficulty without a medium difficulty. I don't like playing a game on easy. I don't like playing a game on hard. I like playing a game on medium, and it's annoying they didn't have that option. You know, little things like that. They could have just made it better if they had all that. I think a lot of the people's like criticisms that I've seen and other people's had issues with, I think they could have fixed it. They could have easily fixed it, and it would have been better if they did that. I don't think some of the problems people are having would have been an issue if they sort of took time to fix all these things. But hey ho, it is what it is. I am excited what they're going to do with the series next. Obviously, I have pure faith that the Blooper team's going to do an amazing job again working on the Silent Hill remake. I am so looking forward to the Silent Hill remake. Anything with the Blooper team, I have such faith in the Blooper team. Layers of Fear was such a good game. Maybe I'll put Layers of Fear on my thing. Maybe I'll play Layers of Fear tomorrow, actually. That sounds like a plan. Layers of Fear, honestly, where the Blooper team started and where they are now is so incredible. Honestly, I almost feel proud of the Blooper team. Like, they've done so well. It's almost, do you know what? I feel like it's almost a shame that the Blooper team didn't work on this game. That's how I'm kind of feeling right now. I feel like the Blooper team would have been able to tighten some of these things up. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, 7 out of 10. I think 7 out of 10 is fair. It's above average. I think it's a good game. Compared to other sort of horror games I've played before, it's definitely better. It wasn't very scary. It wasn't very survival horror. The melee made it a little bit more survival horror, but it's not like traditional traditional survival horror. But I still enjoyed it nonetheless, and the story was really good. I enjoyed the story. Interesting, and it does make you think about it. I like that it doesn't tell you too much as the story goes on, but then suddenly they kind of ram it down your throat a little bit near the end, but it's still good. I still enjoyed the story where it went. Yeah, I'm still not 100% sure of like what the actual canon ending is. I guess there isn't one. But also, like, I watched the very last ending without spoiling too much. Or if you don't want to know, like, don't like, just skip ahead a little bit. But even like the last ending I watched, how like the town seems empty. Like, some of the endings aren't explained completely. So I still have questions even after each ending. I'm still a bit confused by some of the endings. I guess that's the point though. That is a very Silent Hill thing, to be fair. That is not giving you the actual answer you kind of made to... It's left up to interpretation, isn't it? That's kind of how it works. Anyway, I've been chatting way too long. I've been like half hour. But I just wanted to get my thoughts out. It's going to be an unedited video. I'm just doing it, my raw opinion live, after I've played the game. As you can literally still see my chat from where I was just on here streaming. Yeah, I might play Layers of Fear as like a one-off episode tomorrow while my community vote is going for the next big game I'm playing. It's either going to be Little Nightmares 2, because I haven't played Little Nightmares 2, and I know 3's just come out. Dead Space remake, because I haven't played the remake yet. And maybe I'll throw up another one, maybe Callisto Protocol or something. So I'll put like 3 games on there, and then let me know, go on my community tab and vote which games you want me to play next, because that'll be up there. But I will play Layers of Fear tomorrow. Also, if you are new, go and check out my back catalogue. Also, go and check out my review, my play of Silent Hill F, because I do say things I do like about it and things I don't like about it as the progress goes. And of course, you'll see my raw reactions to things happening, especially the freaking altar scene, the whole ritual scene, that was so messed up. I was like traumatized watching that. But yeah, anyway, so thank you all for watching. If you made it to the end, congratulations, because I know I can be a bit of a chatterbox. That is just my life, and I swear it's my ADHD brain that makes me do it. Little Freya needs to go to bed because she's so sleepy and she's been so good. I'm so proud of her. It's the first time I've streamed since I've had her, and she's been so good. Oh, I'm so lucky. I've got the best behaved kitten in the world. I'm so happy. So anyway, yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already and turn on the bell notifications so you can be informed when the next video is up. Channel memberships are also now live, so if you wish to support the channel further, you can do. Any money made will be put back into the channel, making it bigger and better for you guys. And the cheapest membership is only $2.99 a month. So take care, stay safe, and until next time, bye.